Amy Love here, and I was just coming on today because I was looking back at my YouTube channel, and I've been on YouTube for 10 years. That is absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. So I thought I would come on and take a minute to kind of give you my experience, the experience I had on YouTube for 10 years. If you're thinking about maybe starting a YouTube channel, I am just going to be real with you about my experience with that. So grab a cup of coffee. Thank you for the mug, Jody. And let's talk about it. So everyone will have their own reasons for wanting to start a YouTube channel. And for me, I actually started my channel 11 years ago when I was trying to manage my autoimmune issues and chronic illness. And I actually started the channel based on that. It was more of like an informational, let me tell you what I'm learning and how I'm managing my chronic illness. And I am still passionate about that subject matter. But sharing it wasn't really bringing me joy on this platform. So I was like, okay, scratch that. And then 10 years ago, I started making crafty videos because it was like combining the two things that I loved, which was teaching and crafting. And I had to give up my teaching job. Broke my heart. It was my most favorite job I've ever had. Teaching preschool. I loved it. And I had to give that up because of my autoimmune issues and whatnot. So for me, starting a YouTube channel was just a way to combine both of those things and kind of to help me get out of the funk I was in my new life, where it was like, oh, like I can't work, and you start to get like a depression happening. So those were the reasons that I got into YouTube in the first place. And then beautiful things happened. When you start a YouTube channel, you're like, oh, you get validation for your art because you're like, oh, people like what I do. That's awesome, right? Who doesn't want to hear that? And then you also like connect with a community. The crafting community is vast, but it's amazing. And you meet people that become lifelong friends. And it's a really great way to connect with the crafting community. Having a crafting channel, absolutely. And it's also a way to like promote your crafts, because what I found was in the beginning I was just creating all these crafts and they were building up, you know what I mean? So it was a great way to like promote your crafts, and the people who like what you do will buy what you make because they love it. So those were all really great pros. And also the big pro for me is now I have like a video diary, a 10-year span of my progress through my creative journey, which is really invaluable, right? You know what I mean? So great. So those are definite pros, but there's some cons too. So let's talk about those. I'm going to need a sip of coffee before we get into that. So, one of the big cons for me is, even though I didn't get into it for money, and you can make money on YouTube, you can. And I will give you some tips at the end of this video on like, how to make this your career. That was never my goal. This was like just a side hustle, bringing some joy into my life when I was going through some pretty dark times. And for that, I am grateful. But the amount of time that it takes to film and edit a video is just, it's so time consuming, and it literally is work. And no, I have a very small channel, and I love it. It's cozy. It's cozy over here. But in order to make any money, like, okay, I'm less than 7,000 subscribers after 10 years. Let's just talk about why am I still doing this? Anyways, I make between $300 and $400 a year on YouTube. And if I quit making content, that revenue stream will end. But it's not really a revenue stream. It's like $300 or $400, and not all at once. You don't get paid all at once. So I get like $100 every 3 months. And that's, I mean, it does buy my glue. I buy glue and some things that, I don't get from design teams, those necessity things. So, I mean, it's nice. I'm happy to have it. I'm not going to make a living on that. I can't survive on that. But just so you know what that looks like, that's how much I make after 10 years on YouTube. So it's not, it is not making a living. Now, people do make a living doing this, but please note, if that is your goal, it is a full-time job plus. So I'm in my 50s. I'm not trying to have a full-time job anymore. I want to enjoy the things in life that I hadn't had a chance to enjoy before. I want to grow vegetables. I want to cook everything from scratch. I want to bake bread. I want to make crafts. I want to learn how to sew clothes. That is on my list for this year. And I have to have not a real job, but a job that provides an income. So I still work. But I only work 3 days a week, but they're 8-hour days. You know what I'm saying? But if I was going to make this YouTube channel my business, I wouldn't have time to do any of those things. Truth. So besides the time that it takes to film and edit, and also come up with content, that's a whole other thing. Those things take a lot of time. But you have to post consistently on YouTube. You need to have a schedule. If you want your videos to get out there and to start a flow of revenue, then you have to upload on a regular basis. And it's going to be more than once a week. So I feel but you can look this up. I don't know. I'm not tech savvy. Also a downside to choosing this path. So consistency does matter. So if you get in a slump and you take a week off, well, that's going to bring your views right down. It's a whole thing. It is what it is. But there's so many videos on YouTube telling you how to do that, but that is also time that you will have to spend diving in on how to make your YouTube channel successful. The other downside, which because I've been on 10 years, it's not a big deal anymore, but in the beginning, because I wasn't prepared, it's the trolls and negative comments. Also requires a little sip of coffee. I mean, some people who are starting a YouTube channel, they're trying to manage some tough times in their life. They might be suffering with depression or have some chronic illness. So I feel like you should go in knowing that there's going to be just rude people. They're going to be there. And if you're not prepared for it and you're already in a vulnerable state, it can take a toll on you. But it's never about you, right? And I know that's hard to really wrap your head around when you're going through it, that it's not about you, it's about them. They're angry and their rudeness have really nothing to do with you. It's their problem, not yours. But I know it feels like your problem when they're dumping it at your video and at you and on YouTube. So it happens. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what people are hurting. Hurting people hurt people. That's a legit thing, not just a catchy phrase. It's for real. And it's hard not to respond to those people. Especially when I was a real reactive person. I had a lot of things going on in my own life, and I wasn't prayed up and ready for what came at me. So I reacted, and that's never a good thing. That's never a good thing. So now, if it really annoys me, thank you for the thumbs up. My computer's like, yes, keep going. I like what you're saying. That's so hilarious. All right. So if it really annoys me, I will take it down. If it's just, I feel like somebody's just having a bad day, I will leave it, whatever. If it's really aggressive, though, I will screenshot it and send it to my friends and be like, what is this? Can you believe this? But that's as far as I take the reaction, because just trust me, no good can come from that. I have done this for 10 years, and it never ends well when I react to somebody else's bad behavior. All right, so now I'm going to share with you some things that could help you have a successful YouTube channel, things that I don't do and that I'm just not willing to do. So I'm not too worried about it. But the consistent uploads, and so my opinion is you create the content when you can, and then you schedule it to upload on a regular basis. So say you want to post twice a week, then you pick your 2 days. Monday and Thursday, I will have a new video coming out every Monday and every Thursday. So you record whenever you can, edit whenever you can, and schedule Monday and Thursday. Consistency is a big deal. Quality sound and lighting, of which I have neither. But it's important. I mean, I see some of you crafty ladies have the most beautiful lighting, and it just makes me so happy. And I have tried many different solutions up here in my little cabin loft. It is what it is. And I'm not too worried about putting any more effort into that. I've put many hours of effort into that, and I'm over it. Responding to comments, I haven't done that as much as I would have liked to have done that. And I feel like it's really important to build that relationship with your viewers. So my suggestion is reply to the comments. You have to not be afraid of self-promotion, and I have a real big problem with that. I am not a toot my own horn kind of person, and I feel like that has really not been great for trying to have this platform and get my art out there and all of those things. You have to know what you do is great, and I always feel like, well, I love it. That doesn't mean somebody else is going to love it. But the truth is, if you love it, somebody else is going to love it, and they're going to find it on your YouTube channel. And don't be afraid to be like, hey, look what I can do and what I can show you how to do, and those things. It matters. Another way to grow your channel, which really helped my growth a lot, is to collaborate with other content creators. You can do YouTube hops is also another great way. I've probably seen the most growth during YouTube hops. So you just, and I've hosted many collaborated hops too. I don't know. I've hosted, I feel like 4 or 5. And, people are pretty eager to participate in those things. I've only had a few people not be able to participate when I do like a YouTube hop or collaboration type of thing. So don't be afraid to reach out to other content creators to do that, because I think you'd be surprised. I mean, it benefits all of you, right? Because now they're sharing you with their audience, and you're sharing them with your audience, and then you both grow. So it's really fun and a nice way to grow your channel. Also, you can join design teams. Design teams is another way that you can grow your channel, because it's going to provide content for you to work with, and a good design team, that company will also be promoting you. So that's a good thing. Now I am going to do a deep dive on design teams, but not on this video. So it's just another avenue where you can get growth on your YouTube channel. I feel like YouTube is always changing. The algorithms, how it all works, it's always changing. So you have to be willing to invest time in learning all of that stuff. And with everything that I want to do in my life, I don't have the time or energy to invest in that education, but do it. There's tons of YouTube videos on YouTube about how to have a successful channel. Dive in if that's what you want to do. I mean, there's plenty of people who have successful channels and make a living. I mean, me putting in as little effort as I do and making $300 to $400 a year, I mean, it's promising. Now, you can't monetize your channel until I think it's 1,000 subscribers and like 400 watch hours. But that can happen really quickly. So it can be done. You can do it. And if you're just like me and you're doing it to maybe promote your shop, like I have an Etsy store and I do make money in my Etsy store, and thank you. You can do that too. So my takeaway after 10 years, this is where I'm at. I am not going to put in the effort required for this to be my income. I don't want a full-time job. I don't want any full-time job. I don't want YouTube to be a full-time job. I don't want my job to be a full-time job anymore. I have things I want to do and I want time to do them. So for me, I'm not going to do that. And I've made a lot of content over the years just for the sake of making content. I'm not going to do that anymore either. I'm literally at this point in my life, I only want to do things that bring me joy. Let's just do the things that make me happy. That's what I want to do. I mean, life can be hard. Life can be challenging. Life is short. There's so much life happening that I need this space to be my happy place. And if that means that I keep my small little channel, cool, I'm for it. So I felt like I wanted to talk about it. I'm glad that we did. If you have any questions, please leave them below. And if you are a YouTube content creator and you would like to share some tips for people who might be thinking about starting a YouTube channel, please leave them in the comments below, because the people read the comments and that's a great place to leave some tips for people. And I'm also going to be doing a video on design teamwork, because I've been doing that for 10 years too, and I'd just like to share a little of my experience and wisdom in that area. So thanks for hanging out with me, everybody, and I hope you're well, and I will see you on the next one.